Boys and girls, we just can't stop winning, and it is a glorious thing out there because after the election of Donald J. Trump as the U.S. president, of course, it was an overwhelming one, the popular and the electoral vote out there. It was very much an obvious what the American people out there were looking for, ladies and gentlemen, and it was a complete and total rejection of the cult ideology known as woke out there. It's one of them situations where the identity politics nonsense has destroyed not only so much of our entertainment industry and so much of our escapism, but also a lot of our political spheres as well. A lot of our government institutions are completely and totally infected by the exact same ideology that's destroyed Hollywood and video games. And well, one of those companies that is freaking out and in complete and total panic mode is none other than the Walt Disney Company themselves. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the House of Mouse is doing its best it can to adjust after the election and try to find some kind of conservatives. But after all the insanity they've done with all of the politics over the last few years, how they've driven people out of their jobs or outright fired them for simply the wrong think out there, color us shocked there. They have absolutely nowhere to go, and they are scrambling desperately now. And looks like we might know what the cause of it, because boys and girls, even though Nelson Peltz might not have won, getting himself some seats on the board, it looks like it has had dire consequences for the House of Mouse after all. And that is a beautiful thing to see, because this is exactly what they deserve. So we're going to check out these articles from thatparkplace.com, getting all of the juicy details of exactly what is going on out here. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share it with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below. Are you taking a victory lap in this sweetness, hearing about the fact that Disney is in an absolute panic mode, trying to find one single conservative, reasonable, common sense, maybe even a common nerd person left inside of their company, and that they are freaking out over it? Let us know what you feel about all of that in the comments section down below. And if you'd like to check out and support the channel, please check out the links in the description as well. So from thatparkplace.com and our sweet WW Pro and our dear sweet Montaro as well. The Walt Disney Company scrambles to adjust after election, but can't find conservatives in the company. Oh, color me shocked there. I wonder why. Maybe it was Disney's Reimagine Tomorrow and all of the leaks from all of that kind of stuff, talking about how you wanted to trans people's children. I don't know, maybe. Talk about panic. The Walt Disney Company is reportedly rushing to find majority voices after the election now that they've realized they're losing the biggest swath of the country. There's now just one really big problem. They can't find any conservatives within their ranks. Oh, poor Disney. After all, you did it to yourself, and that's just absolutely hilarious. And yes, you'd think it would have been the hundreds of the billions, the tens of billions of dollars that Disney has lost, turning Star Wars into the most unprofitable franchise of all time after being the most profitable franchise of all time. Maybe it would have taken all of the disastrous dumpster fires they had with all of their television shows and how they lost viewers every single episode over and over and over again for the last few years. I don't know. Maybe you would think it'd all be the billions of dollars they lost, but oh, no. It took the election of Donald J. Trump by an overwhelming majority of the United States American voting population to give them the final smack in their face. And why? Why? Because now they know not only are their customers completely and totally unhappy with everything they produced, the government ain't going to be so friendly to their woke ideology anymore. How's that going to work out for you, Bob Iger? So shout out to the New York Post and Alexandria Steigard. ABC News brass are in panic mode as they hunt for conservative voices to balance the rapid anti-Trump rhetoric spewed by hosts on The View. And here's the problem. Who the hell's going to want to work for them? If you're a successful conservative independent voice out there, why would you literally want to walk into the snake pit, into the belly of the beast, and know that you are hated by almost every single person in that building just by walking in the door? Now, don't get me wrong. I know there's some people out there that thrive on that kind of thing. And honestly, I'd probably be totally okay with it. I'd laugh, I'd ridicule, I'd make fun of them and remind them all I'm there because their worldview failed. And now they've got the proof pudding of it. That's what any conservative out there who's got even the slightest bit of snark or vindictiveness, or maybe feels the part of Jesus they relate to the most is whipping the money changers in the temple. I don't know. Maybe. The majority of y'all are a little too nice to do that kind of thing. But any of you out there that align with that part of Jesus, maybe, just maybe, you should willingly beg for this job just so you can go in there and rub it in their noses every single day that their entire worldview was shattered. And Disney had to beg for a conservative voice to come in to balance out the insanity that they currently have working inside of that company. Please, someone take that job. And please, be snarky about it. Hosts on The View, as well as the others, The Post has learned. The Disney-owned network, which came under fire over how ABC News moderators grilled Donald Trump during the presidential debate against Vice President Kamala Harris. You know, all the fact-checking they did to only him, even though Kamala Harris was wrong about several things as well. Having been holding high-level meetings since last week's rout by the former president, sources close to the situation told The Post. Oh, yes, boys and girls, as soon as it was confirmed by every single news outlet, and even though after it was very quickly extremely obvious exactly how that election was going to go, color shocked there. Everybody knew the writing was on the wall, and they all panicked. And that is absolutely glorious. And shout out, let's give a little credit to where credit is due to the guy who caused all of this. And that would be none other than Nelson Peltz, the man himself. Nelson Peltz introduced Elon Musk to Donald Trump over Disney issues. Yes, Bobby boy, you yourself out there fighting tooth and nail to hold on to all of the control you could for that board and not allowing Peltz in has now caused your own issues, because Nelson Peltz introduced Elon Musk to Donald Trump all because you wouldn't let him help you fix your broken and busted company. And now you've lost the entire country. You've lost not just your company and all of the little ideology you thought was going to keep working going forward. You've lost the entire government as well now, because not only did Donald J. Trump win the White House, we took the House of Representatives and the Senate as well. You have the triple trifecta to get and do whatever they want. And boys and girls, Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, Doge, is going to be a glorious thing to watch. Nelson Peltz, Elon Musk, and Donald Trump are three very rich men who have made a lot of waves in the last year. Of course, Trump shocked the world with a stunning electoral victory over Kamala Harris to become president-elect of the United States just last week. Musk, the world's richest man, has become a champion for free speech since his acquisition of Twitter, transforming it into X. He will also serve as co-head of Trump's new Department of Government Efficiency, which seeks to clean up all the needless spending on the federal level. Peltz waged a different kind of battle, one that was far less successful than either of the other two. The billionaire waged a proxy battle against the board of Walt Disney Company, attempting to gain a seat and upset the balance of power. And of course, we knew that didn't pan out. It didn't end up working. So, while Peltz ultimately failed in his bid to turn Disney Company around, without him, the victory secured by Musk and Trump might not have ever happened. I was a matchmaker, Peltz said, stating that he was the one that first brought Musk and Trump together. I don't know that Donald would have had this sweeping victory without Elon's help. I don't think he would have either. You literally cooked the largest social media and news platform out there, i.e. X or Twitter, and literally you had the head of that company stumping and telling the truth and pointing out all the lies, and then, of course, endorsing President Trump. Yeah, it had an impact. Elon was in Pennsylvania. I thought he was going to be Dutch or something. He was there almost full time. He came to New York every now and then to say hello. But other than that, he was there in Pennsylvania on the ground doing the work. And I take my hat off to him. I mean, he got a bit in his teeth and he wanted it to work. And if Donald gives him the opportunity, he will cut costs. And that's what we need to do. We need to cut costs. And that's the same at Disney. It's the same in Hollywood. And as sure as hell is the same in our government. Peltz said that he brought the two men together at a breakfast, which also included his son Diesel. Hey, shout out to my boy Diesel. Not that boy, but I got a boy Diesel. And after that, the fateful breakfast with Nelson Peltz. Both Elon Musk and Donald Trump worked together to completely upset the political establishment of the United States. I'm very pleased. I'm very optimistic. Of course you are. Who wouldn't be? Reflecting on his thoughts heading into a second Trump presidency, the alternative was ridiculous. And yes, sir, I think we can all completely and totally agree with you on that 100% whatsoever. And guess what? Nelson Peltz, the majority of America agrees with you out there. The majority of the voting population agrees with you out there. And shout out to every single common nerd. Shout out to every single common sense person. Shout out to every single reasonable, rational person who knew things could not go on the way they currently were and voted for Donald J. Trump and any other Republican out there. Because boys and girls, you have given Donald Trump an absolute edict. You have given him an undeniable win that shows that, yes, the people of America are with him. And that has caused shockwaves going through every single industry out there. And Disney is just the first of many. We will hear reports about scrambling and trying to change their ways. House of Mouse is just the largest and most obvious. And the fact that they are freaking out, that they are in full-blown panic mode because now they have found out that the United States of America and the world as a whole rejects every single inch of their ideology and told them all to go shove it last Tuesday is a beautiful and glorious thing. And guess what, Bob Iger? You did it to yourself. And now you're getting exactly what you deserve. Take the victory lap, nerds. You deserve it.